Sucking on my titties like you wanted me, calling me all the time like Blondie. Check out my Chrissy behind, it's fine all of the time, like sex on the beaches. What else is in the teachers of peaches? Huh, what?
I feel like shit. I don't know why I'm like getting up and dancing.
Sucking on my titties like you wanted me, calling me all the time like Blondie. Check out my Chrissy behind, it's fine all over the time. What else is in the teachers of peaches? Like sex on the
I don't know where the
beaches.
fuck this thing's gonna be streamed. I have no clue. I'm kind of winging it, dude. I'm getting demonetized no matter what I do. Yeah, okay. I streamed the PS4. What is that? Oh my god, this thing sucks. I streamed the PS4 live panel. Tanner, hey, what's up? Prior Joe was, or sorry, Prior Toe. What it do? DDT, what's up, guys? I think that's Mad Dog. Mad Dog, what's up? Yeah, I streamed the PS4 panel, and there was a song in the PS4 panel that I didn't even know. Like I have no choice, but I still got like copyrighted for it. It's not on my channel because it like YouTube deleted it, so I couldn't even do anything. It wasn't even my fault. I'm gonna open the PS4 one.
Sucking on my titties like you wanted me, calling me all the time like Blondie. Check out my Chrissy behind, it's fine all over the time, like sex on the beaches. What else is in the...
Okay, this song fucking sucks, but it's okay. Hold on. Okay, let me open this. Oh, that's the wrong one. Let's do this. Hello? Sucking on my teeth like you want me. What the fuck is this music? That's my ring. That should be my ringtone.
I want to give him a chance to speak, so
let's give Shimbori.
This is just a regular panel. I mean, I don't know
and kind of share
what to put on.
Let's talk a little bit about what's new and what's important in Dead or
Sucking on
Alive
my
6.
teeth like you want me. Go. I'm gonna search around. I'm gonna search Twitter. I'll search Twitch, I guess. But apparently, this is what I got out of this so far. It's supposed to be a 40-minute panel, right? A 40-minute panel talking about the history of zombies and just talking about Black Ops 4 zombies. That's fucked. That's very fucked. 40 freaking minutes, my boy. 40 minutes. What the hell are they gonna talk about for 40 minutes? It's so freaking special. Everything. If no one says anything about Classified, I swear to God, Blundell, I'm coming over there.
the next level, and it'll be the maximum intense fighting.
I gotta come over there. I'm gonna go to E3.
We'll take another a new approach on the characters as
Can
they
we hit 50 minutes? Yes. Can we hit 50 likes as well?
Sweat, they'll get wounded. You'll see
But it's supposed to be starting in like 7 minutes, no?
Different kind of feeling.
Something like that.
Realistic that way.
It seems like after watching the trailer, and I think we can show some of that footage to our audience.
Maybe I'm playing the wrong one. Hold on.
It seems from the trailer
Oh my God.
this is a much more serious take on these classic characters. They are,
I'm definitely playing the wrong. I'm definitely playing the wrong one. Where do I go? Do. Jen, what do you got for me, boys?
Seemingly in a vacuum, and nobody can see the
Days Gone, boys. I don't think it's them. Honestly, it might. What the hell is this? The fuck? Okay. It might even be on. Dare I say it? It might be on Facebook, dude. I don't want to. I didn't. I don't know. I don't want it to be on Facebook, but I think it is on Facebook. Well, we're gonna go Charlie Intel. We're gonna find a link because I know they got something for me. Yeah, I told you I should have kept playing the song. You guys don't want me to keep playing the song. I should have kept playing it. Fucking on my titties.
and then the interviews throughout the events with all the different gaming whatever.
See, she's watching a different one. I don't even know where the heck that is. I don't know where that is.
So far.
That's what Glitching Queen's watching. What the heck?
Voyage.
Facebook's still a thing. All my nibbles use MySpace.
Cowboy. BO4 must have more zombie maps than 8. I agree with you. I think you're right.
Wait a minute.
Hopefully. Kitty, what are you doing? Come on.
Wait a minute.
Hey, come say hi. Come here. Come on. Come up.
I'm only showing Glitching Queens because I need to see like what the actual freaking thing is.
Say happy.
Cause I haven't. I went to 3 different streams and I can't see it. Look, it's not even.
Cool,
It's not even this. What the hell?
Like, put in their own ideas of what we wanted in a main character.
Why is this so confusing?
Got the kind of spunky look you can really get behind.
Right.
And then for all of the
fuck?
cast that are like supporting her as you're going through the game, just like a lot of it is we had like
watch
a
on
big old
Facebook Live.
brainstorm
Okay,
session
it
of,
is
like,
on
just
Facebook.
doing
Fuck
wacky
me.
character designs that we wanted. Some of it came from just like
Boys, why is this so confusing? Hey, what are you doing, Lamau? Wait, hold on, actually. Do I have to like sign into Facebook? I fucking hate Facebook. I think I do. Are y'all nibbas kidding me? I haven't used Facebook since I was born, fam. How the hell do I do this? I'm just trying not to show my Facebook because this is like my work Facebook. And by work, I just mean like for different jobs, they kind of need sometimes you have Facebook for jobs. But yeah, it has to be on Facebook now. What the hell?
Really?
Yeah, it's on Facebook.
It's pretty close because we're trying to keep the action on screen. You hear the monk yelling inside of the temple.
Oh, what is this,
Masako is
Garbo?
kinda making up a plan with you when you're in
Holy schmoly.
in action. And then
God
she
damn
betrays
it.
you, and the betrayal is expressed even while you're dueling. Inside of the demo, we go interactive, and Jin is saying, you were a good friend. She's saying, give me a monk. If you're the player, and you just
body
want to
feels so weird right
attack her
now.
right off the bat, you can. We're putting the story inside a space where you can interact with it. And so that's chief. All of our stories are, first and foremost, inside of activity.
So characters talking to them. So you said more minimal, you think, in terms of sort of dialogue and conversation, because it's, Jin is.
I want to see this, not player count. I was gonna say player count. I want to see this,
chatty guy, but
this viewer count go up super quick as soon as fucking Black Ops 4 stuff.
That you can appreciate just by watching what's happening versus
Because
somebody
180
saying
people is
something to
nothing.
you, and you kind
It's
of have
nothing.
to build an image in your mind.
Yeah.
Why do that when you could build the actual problem or the story on screen in action in gameplay? Like him following this leaf to find the temple. It's physical. You look at it and then you
I want
see
to take
the
my
tree, and then you
Twitter
see
off
more of
too.
this glowing.
That's usually I have that
Visual
usually for
in
Twitch.
the world.
But hold on.
Well, again, like
Uh,
sort of frightened me. You just want to look at it. It's beautiful.
If
Well,
I
we have
even
one more
can
clip
find
for you
it.
guys,
Oh, here it
that we're
is.
gonna show. Do you want to set up? This is a.
I wanna
this
see
is
the
a-
full
like a
experience.
behind-the-scenes peek at sort of this juxtaposing some of the mocap.
The
that
next
they
year,
just marketed
Treyarch
for us,
are gonna
with the actual
stream on
realization of
Minecraft
that
servers.
that you saw in the gameplay demo that we did.
I believe it.
Awesome. All right, let's check
So
it
we'll
out.
see if that gets
I
queued up.
believe it.
Mocapping Ghost.
On Minecraft 2 servers.
So this is from the actual gameplay demo that we did, and then we'll cut here in a second to see David
Yeah, this looks
doing
poop.
that on our mocap stage. We have a mocap stage at Sucker Punch.
At least that part looked poop. Never mind. It's fine.
Yeah, and this is Billy getting his ass kicked, so this is a good one. So. That's our animation director. So take him on for
That's
the
pretty
team.
cool. That's pretty cool.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, again, that's side by side, yeah.
There you go.
It's gonna be so cool. When all
That
these
game
all
looks kind of
fit
sick,
together.
boys.
Yeah,
I'm
we
not
can't
gonna
wait
lie.
till I actually let you play it, Jeff. So.
Oh, in time. I've
Not
only
this
asked a
time.
few times.
Not
But no,
this
I gotta
time.
say this is it's so exciting because across worldwide studios of Sony, I think all of the teams just continue to keep pushing in new directions, and I feel like this is such a evolution of the types of games Sucker Punch has done. Looks so majestic and beautiful. What do you guys think? It's pretty good, right?
Majestic.
Well, I know there's lots of hard work ahead wrapping this up, but I personally cannot wait to get a chance to play it and see more of it in the months to come. So thanks to
Thank you,
Team
Jeff.
Sucker Punch
Thank
for
you.
giving the Coliseum a little
everybody
sneak
for coming.
preview.
Thanks,
of
everybody.
Ghost.
Thank you.
Push 'em out. Awesome. Thanks very much, guys. Appreciate it.
What's happening? Oh, the viewer count's going up, boys. And I'm yelling because this shit's fucking loud. Lundell, fuck me up, fam. Fuck me up, fam.
Coming up.
Oh shit. Oh shit. What else could they say? Like, honestly? Actually, they could say a lot. But what are they gonna my thing is like, what are they gonna say for Comic-Con? Cause is that not soon? Comic-Con is fucking soon. I don't know why I'm fucking swearing. I swear, yeah, Comic-Con's super soon. So it's like they could probably reveal the special edition, like the legit special, like collector's edition, at Comic-Con. But what the hell are they gonna say here? I'm confused. There's a YouTube link. There's a YouTube link. Okay, let me see which one's faster. If the YouTube link is faster, then we go to the YouTube link, of course. Of course. If you're telling me to add you as a Snapchat, that's fine, but please don't put your Snapchat in my chat. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I think. Oh, is this Frozen? This is Frozen. Hello? This shit's Frozen, man.
Participating in the story versus watching it.
Yep.
You what, mate?
Inside of the demo.
Bruh. What? What? Okay, wait, hold on. I'm gonna laugh at this guy. Wait, where'd he go? Oh, he's right here. Wait, where is he? Super excited for Jason Bundle. I'm sorry, Jacob. I'm so sorry. But that's Jason Bundle. I'm so sorry. I love that. I love that so much. Okay, check IGN. Yeah, I think we'll just watch the YouTube link. Fuck it. I don't know what this Facebook normie shit is. So, and it's plus it's like pausing and it's like going weird. So you know what? Fuck it. We'll just do this on Game Slice. I don't even know what a Game Slice is. Nice adversary. Okay. Very understandable. Ooh. On YouTube, they're streaming E3. Are they? Oh, boys. Okay. Who the hell said Buried Remastered? Okay, these kids. This is the Zombies community, by the way. Yep. 4 new maps, but yet people still want fucking Transit Remastered. Buried Remastered. I don't get this shit. Zombies community, I don't get it. not understanding. But it's okay. I don't know. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna get copyrighted. I'm gonna get copyrighted. Your PS4 vid got copyrighted. You can't even watch it. I know, my boy. And I'm pissed because that was a flame thumbnail. Anyways.
That's right. We got an awesome afternoon for you guys.
Okay. Okay.
Amazing games coming on stage to share some stuff with you. We've got Call of Duty right now. We've got Spider-Man coming up a little bit later. Tonight we've got the director of Avengers, Joe Russo, here with Donald Mustard, Fortnite, and then this evening we've got an awesome performance of some of the score of God of War. So lots of great stuff. Thanks for coming to the Coliseum. Right now we are going to move on to Call of Duty Black Ops 4.
Zombies?
Yes, I see many people with their Black
Boy,
Ops hats.
I swear to God.
Clearly you guys have probably already been to the booth, played it. We're going to talk about something that's not at the booth. We're going to talk about zombies. I hope that's okay with you guys. So let's bring out the guys from Treyarch to talk about all things zombies. Come on out.
I want to see Brian. I want to see Brian Toohey. Hold on. Okay.
Hey, guys.
Jason
himself.
Adam.
Ooh.
Hey, guys.
Ooh.
Brian. Jason, Adam, Brian, great.
That original World at War trailer, though, in the background.
Now, zombies, I was telling Jason backstage, I was talking to Mark Lamia from Treyarch a few weeks ago. We were having dinner, and I was saying it was 10 years ago on my old Spike show that we revealed that there's this crazy idea of zombies in Call of Duty and World at War.
Yep.
And it was, it was right at launch. You guys had sort of not really shared anything about it. I don't think anyone knew kind of quite what to make of it. And here we are a decade later.
Yep.
And people don't just appreciate it. They absolutely love what you guys do with,
I was just reading a shirt.
zombies. It started as this Easter egg in World at War.
Yep.
I'd be curious to hear the history, and I know a lot of you guys have been, involved in it since the beginning. Where did this come from? Because, at the time, Call of Duty was very much, rooted in reality and, following the franchise from when it started, it was, very real. And it was cinematic at times, but,
Sure.
Super real. So this concept of kind of just twisting things a little bit and introducing zombies, like what was the genesis of that inside the studio?
Well, I mean, one thing that you kind of can't take away from the creation of it is that the time in the project when it was created, which was right at the very end, right at the point when teams are the most stressed. Everything's kind of being packed in. You're trying to lock a game down. And so subsequently, there's so many different stories about where it kind of came from because all the different voices.
Everyone's taking credit, in other words. Yeah.
But what I can say, and again, holding the torch for it at the moment, part of my job was to go back and kind of talk to people and look at stuff and find out different opinions on it. It came from the design department.
Okay.
And that idea was floated, and then different groups in the studio kind of came together and started adding stuff.
Was it like let's put zombies in the game, or let's come up with a different game mode, or?
To my understanding, it was looking at the assets they had. I think it was Peleliu. I think
Exozombies Remastered.
Explosion with these kind of soldiers stumbling around the place, and the comment was they look like zombies. So it's like use that animation, kind of bring that in, and then kind of different groups, different areas. Be it sound or animation.
I'll never forget. 2 o'clock in the morning when I got a request for zombie sounds. I'm like, wait, what? We're making Call of Duty, but
wow.
It's just grown and turned into something so special especially for us.
Yeah, and that's why it was, and because of that way that it was created, that's why it's something that we're very proud of, which was different people just coming together and making something, just adding the different kind of talents, the different kind of groups. It was something that at the time lots of people said we shouldn't do.
Right.
And I wasn't actually on the project at that point in time, but I would have said that as well.
Well, no, and it's just so different. And you said it's one thing to have an Easter egg, right, or a zombie that shows up in a level or something. But this was like a new game mode. That the idea of waves of sort of that whole idea. I mean, Adam, you were obviously involved in animation and thinking about what this was going to be. But the game mode and that concept of these waves, like where did that come from?
It was. So as it's been told to me, it was that idea of kind of tower defense.
Yeah.
The idea of tower defense games that were very popular.
True. I think you're right. I do remember that.
On Flash games at the time.
Exactly.
Flash games, my boy.
And that's where being able to kind of jump in there and then use 3D assets and a first-person experience for tower defense was very novel. And you know, the big kind of love of zombies hadn't really caught steam, so we were one of the first to be there, you know, doing the kind of zombie material. But it was so out of left field that the part of the conversation with Activision was, okay, you can put it in, but we're not going to promote this. We're not going to talk about this with anyone.
Right. Yeah. They said this. They said this
and
quite
to be honest,
or they've said this a couple times now.
Was due to that.
If
Because
not
then
more.
it became the kind of people's game. It was the people's mode.
No,
Rather than if we'd promoted it and marketed
I
it.
remember
it
because we were doing an episode of TV show, and it was, I think it was like the
Happy
week before
Wheels
launch,
Remastered.
and we just sort of
Please.
hinted at this other thing,
Please.
and I think everyone online was like, "What are they talking about?" Because you're right, it was pretty hidden. Like, how was it close to not happening?
Absolutely. I mean, there was. We had to put it in front of certain Activision executives. And it was
Unnamed
done
Activision
It was
executives.
done in a kind of closed room. I mean, I've told this story before, but it's put in this kind of closed room where we'd bring an executive in and say, okay, play this, and then, you know, we don't need to do this, you can walk away.
Right.
They're big in the time right now before they show a
emails back
tease.
that would say,
Yeah.
I got to round 20.
Right.
Probably.
I got to round 25. So these executives were like getting so competitive about it. That's when we kind of knew that we had to kind of put it in. But it was, again, just to kind of go back, it was the fact that everyone in the studio started giving more and more time on top of the job they were already doing, adding things in from the different disciplines to make it
No.
happen.
Remember
No
being around
Extinction
the studio, and they
Remastered,
said it was
please.
Energy. I
Don't
think,
do
was
it.
the plan. I mean, Adam, you've been on this project for a long time over the years. Was there? I mean, I assume it created an energy that was so different. And you know, again, this was Call of Duty. You know, after many years of making, you know, amazing games, but you know, it's like, which war do you depict next? How do you sort of, you know, it was a freshness, I guess, right?
Absolutely. Even now, we have a lot of fun telling these new kinds of stories, new approach on telling stories. You know, it's not your typical linear, here's a story, now go play. You know, we like to set it up, show some things and not show other things, but it's how you experience the game, and you go in there and listen to the players talking, and the story unfolds that way. So it allowed us to kind of explore different ways of telling stories and developing characters and building worlds.
Yep, absolutely. And
He's not
from
wrong.
an audio perspective, I imagine, Brian, you know, you've been such a key part of the franchise over all these years. But for you and your guys, I imagine it allows you to flex a completely different muscle.
We started, you know, Call of Duty is all about being as real as possible. So everything needs to be realistic and grounded. And
every gun records sound. It records the sound.
Everything, right? And then when the zombies thing happened, it was like, oh, this is new. This is something completely different. And
It's so weird. Like
creatively, just the mindset you have to even work on it is completely different. And so it was really refreshing, and it completely energized my entire team. And, you know.
Well, and you know, as you said, it really is one where you can brainstorm, right? And I think, like, you know, when you
I don't know. I've never seen like Brian Toohey like in an
here's
interview,
our
so that's why it's like
in our setting, and you know, there's
a little
within
different for me.
limits, you can sort of do things.
It's really cool
For
though.
Zombies, I imagine you sort of have a blank slate in terms of where you're going to do, what it's going to be every year, and you know, sometimes I know it'll tie to the sort of fiction or time period of some of the games. Other times it's just. You know,
what are you gonna stream on Twitch, mate?
You know, when it was first created, the characters didn't have any voices. You know, they were and so the community kind of took it upon themselves to find the story in it, even though there was very kind of bare bones of what was there.
I'm not too sure yet, though. I'm not too sure.
They would start writing the story, and then it was only a little bit later that, you know, the audio department would primarily.
Okay, I see that Voyage of Despair in the background.
What was kind of going on.
Yeah, I mean, really early on, we didn't have any characters speaking at all in Nocturne und Toten, and then we tried to have some first-person voice in Verrückt, where we had kind of a bland set of characters. But the problem was it was hard to tell who was who, and it was because there were very similar actors reading a very similar script. So one of the guys at some point said, hey, if we make characters, you know, I'll be able to tell who's who better, and that's where the original characters from Shi No Numa came from.
Yeah, because, I mean, you said the mode has definitely evolved. I mean, we'll get to Black Ops 4, but it's just sort of like, I don't know how you guys
Black Ops
come up
what?
with this stuff. So you've gotten even more sort of, you know, brainstorming in terms of where these things have gone. But tell us about, you know, the evolution, because, you know, still those waves of zombies, that's part of it. But then, you know, the idea of, you said, introducing, you know, characters, you know, time periods. I mean, when you track sort of the past,
Is it me or did
zombies, are there certain moments to you that feel
do they do this every time? Explain how they thought of making zombies and not showing new zombies. I'll talk about that in a second.
That fundamental core, which was fantastic, because you know, I came on a little bit later on. I came on DLC 3, which was Derice in World at War.
Yeah. Exactly.
And,
but no, I feel like they do that because like when you think of zombies, like it's just a game mode, but like to us it's like a whole fucking game. But like to everybody else, it's just like this small game mode that comes with Call of Duty, right? So it's like when they have a 40-minute panel, they have to explain where zombies came from and everything.
But then also not to rest on
because
your laurels and to go further. You know,
majority is not hardcore fans.
Has a rock and roll anti-authority streak straight through it. You know,
that's why I think it's like that.
It's been, you know, our purpose is to kind of keep that vibe alive. Yeah. And so that means kind of pushing things, testing things, taking that idea that comes at the last second and running with it. And I feel very passionate about that's how we keep zombies fresh and how we keep it new. But you can't just kind of do that and just be pulling it out of the air every 5 seconds. So it's that combination of the rebel kind of craziness combined with a structure that you need to make sure that these professionals also can then take that and build a coherent world, right? So
talk about history. Yeah,
that's
like
the thing that we've kept on going as we've kind of gone forward.
I don't know. Zombies is big and people play zombies, but it's like
take something that everyone would.
I don't know when like if you go to like okay.
Let's put that on one side for a moment. Or
I don't know how to explain this. It's just like if I were to go to my cousin's house and they're like, yeah, we've been playing zombies for like 3 hours. It's so much fun. Most likely they don't know about Richthofen. They don't know about like this. They don't know anything what's going on, but they're just killing zombies. You know what I mean? So it's just normal players, but they have to explain it to those normal players still too. But yeah, good comment.
It's a hard thing, right? Because the fans.
It could be its own game entirely. Of course.
Right here.
Definitely.
Would say, you know, this is something which, you know, okay, it needs to go here next. Yeah. And there's that kind of pressure, which is, okay, delivering for the fans to keep them happy, but also sometimes taking that left turn is what they need also. Mm-hmm. So that's the delicate balance between, you know, not just trolling, but also looking to kind of change it.
Trolling, mate.
You know, reinvent it.
Trolling, by the way.
No, and that's part of the thing I think is the, you know, continuity, because you guys have definitely gone in a bunch of different directions with it, and it's fresh, but also, as you said, people have favorites, and like, what happened to these characters, or, you know, what, go back to this setting. Adam, from, you know, your perspective in the animation team, I imagine, you know, whenever these ideas get dreamed up, it allows you guys to sort of think of completely different environments. I mean, is that sort of the zombies what everyone wants to work on because it's so
I do. I love it. And what's fun for me is right next door is Craig's office.
Yeah.
So when Jason and Craig come out of there full of energy, I'm like, all right, what are we doing? Yeah. Let us know. Come on. And then as soon as he tells us, the animation team, we just love to go and just start to create, come up with ideas, talk with Jason, try to refine these ideas, and we're just so full of energy and excitement because it's so fantastical and full of wonder, and we get to try new techniques and new approaches to storytelling. It's just, it's a blast.
And audio-wise, as Jason said, very much, you know, kind of rock and roll, anti-establishment, so allows you guys to definitely flex a very different muscle too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's just so many varied experiences across all of our maps going back to the beginning, and it's always this new challenge. Like, how are we going to do the moon, right? Like, there's no sound there. So it's creatively really empowering to work on.
Yeah. Are there any ideas that you sort of prototype or concepts that you sort of go down the path and you're like, yeah, this isn't working or too far? I mean, I'm sure you put it back on the shelf, but are there sort of the lost zombies, you know?
Yeah, I mean, so zombies coming from the beginning, right?
Paris slides
comes from the spare bits left over.
Or
right? And so
that was
always
Moon,
been
but whatever.
Kind of DNA when we look at zombies. So if we try and do something, and maybe it doesn't work out this project, it gets put aside and then comes back. You know.
Exactly.
There was a DLC for World at War that never made it. Well, you know, you look at the kind of maps in.
I just said it.
Leftover bits from.
Oh wait, no, that's Kino. My bad. Never mind.
So sometimes we'll try an idea, sometimes it doesn't come
through.
My
bad.
Yeah. Or more the case nowadays is that we'll have more ideas than we can actually execute in the time period. So we just say, okay, let's hold them and then let's come back to them a little bit later on.
A lot of great ideas. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and there've been some insane, you know. Maps over the years, the moon, I mean, other crazy things. Do you guys have any favorites out of the 10 years of ones that you sort of personally, speak to you personally?
Shinonuma for me, just because it was the Ultimus crew and we introduced them for the first time. And if you look back, I think that map's a little underrated. It actually plays really well, but
it does.
Also a lot
Shinonuma does play well.
That map grew into what we have today.
Yeah.
So I always look back. I got excited when we remastered it recently. So I'm like, I get to go back to the beginning of the characters here, which is cool.
Yeah, I agree. The audio on that just blew my mind. Like, I loved Zombies before that, but I remember playing in that hut where you start off and you're looking out the windows and you could just hear the zombies creeping up. It drew me in. I love that map. Yeah.
I'm biased, so I'm going to say Mob of the Dead.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Wait a minute.
That's just a shameless plug.
Not kidding.
Blood of the Dead right there. But for me it was, and again, one of those maps where we get to take a left turn and try something different.
Yeah.
And every time you do that, you never know what's going to kind of stick and what's going to work. And I just felt really happy that we got the vibe, and we. It was one of the first ones where we all went out on location. So we all went down to San Francisco and recorded and captured all the textures and all this kind of fun stuff. So I felt like all the components were working in kind of tandem and kind of telling that story.
Yeah, and that movie was a lot of fun to make too.
Yeah, the movie as well. Yeah.
Black and white, and a lot of fun.
So that's why I just think it's such a white space that you guys just every year get to kind of come up, or every 3 years get to come up with something crazy. I guess with DLCs you do every
it's
year,
like, let's do Stalingrad, but let's put a huge dragon in there while we're at it. Or let's do World War I with massive robots.
Fits in the picture. I mean, is there
Ron Kirby Origins?
Talk a bit about the canon of zombies. Because you push in so many different directions. I mean, is there the official lore? I mean, how much do you track in terms of
There is the official lore. There is the official timeline that we released when we did Chronicles. So we put the huge timeline out, and that was a trip. So we had it all being kind of logged in a kind of roundabout way, a napkin here or a post-it note there. And I popped into the narrative team and said, hey guys, just got a little bit of a weekend task for you.
Exactly.
Can
Make
you just
this all work.
Weekend task?
In one coherent way. And I think it was like 2.5 months later.
Oh my goodness.
So yes, there's an official.
Oh, that's mad.
It all works. But here's the thing. In the same way in the cinematics or in the audio, sometimes it's not just the things that you tell, but the things that you don't tell.
Right.
And that's just as much of an active choice, So sometimes it's the negative space in the picture rather than the detail.
You'll go fill in at some point. We've also had some really great celeb cameos over the years. That's one of sort of my favorite moments, or some of the talent that comes in. Again, Black Ops has had some great talent in the main game. Zombies you have as well. Any favorites?
Bless you. Thank you. My one, I'm going to go with Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, yeah.
Jeff was a force of nature. So normally when you do video recording, someone kind of goes in the booth, you're sitting out there with your audio director, and they'll read the line, and then
forget what you know,
times, then you say, I'll take the B take, or I'll take the A take. Yeah. Jeff came in, and we just let it run. Because he would, he'd just kind of warm in and he'd be like, yes, well, yes, the shield is quicker than the eye, and just kind of do it like a couple of times, right? And he would just go there, and then he would read the next person's lines as well. Yeah. Well, what has my wife done? Just started
That's
going
what needs
for it.
to be released.
Yeah, and
that's gonna be a fucking meme.
So he was absolutely amazing.
Yeah. That was already a meme for so long.
Because often you've had, the characters look like those actual talents, right? Yeah. Any fun stories for you, Adam?
Well, one of the first celebrity ones that we did was with
Blundell, dude.
That's right.
On Call of the Dead, and that was a lot of fun. The energy he brought there was just infectious. He took it all seriously. He brought his A performance every single time. There was times we had to be like, whoa, they're not real, but he would go in there and have this energy of like, come here, I'm going to get, it was so much fun to work with that guy.
Yeah, that's awesome. Brian?
I mean, my favorite's Rooker also. He was amazing. But, the celebrity maps just kind of gave us all yet another break on this narrative thing we were on. Yeah. So, I actually love all those maps for completely different reasons.
Yeah, that's a good point, yeah.
Now, one thing we haven't talked about, which we absolutely should, is the community that has built around zombies.
Whoa!
And, the Easter eggs. I mean, it's fascinating. I remember years ago on YouTube, I'd be watching, Noah J or something. It's like all these people watching his stream months after the game has come out as he's searching for something. And it's been so much fun. Tell us a bit about the zombies community, many of which are probably here today at E3. They are so
I'm here at E3, boys.
This mode. And tell me sort of about the evolution of that, and I think the fun relationship that Treyarch has with the community.
Yeah, well, I would say that their passion is what inspires us to do the best work of our career.
Absolutely.
It's the fact that they're so into it, that drives us. It sounds cliched, but it truly is, because we feel this expectation. When
No,
we
Jake
see
got a
that
shout out.
content,
Yeah, he
we
really
see
did.
that level of engagement. It's like, okay, how do we go further? How do we make them something they're not expecting? And those early days, a lot of those fan theories and a lot of that conversation is what got folded straight back into the storyline, right?
No, absolutely. I mean, the very first Easter egg was a hidden song written by Kevin Sherwood, who works for Treyarch. And we hid it in Verrückt because we made it, and it was like, oh, this is actually a pretty cool song. What can we use it for? Well, let's just put it as an Easter egg in Verrückt and see how long it takes people to find it. And it was like an hour. But that was really inspiring. It's like, oh, people are into that. They should hide more stuff. And so it's kind of that's why we even call the quest line Easter eggs still, even though it's no longer really an Easter egg.
Exactly, yeah.
It's really cool watching the community discuss all these things, and early on websites are springing up, and now there's YouTubers everywhere. It's just amazing to be a part of.
Yeah. We've learned not to say this one will take ages, because every time we say anything like that or indicate that, oh, this is a big one, they've got it in 24 hours.
But I mean, tell me about that sort of, the gamesmanship of you guys, creating things, and there's definitely, I think, there's a relationship with that community of sort of like, I mean, how does that work, brainstorming, like, especially Easter eggs? I mean, it's stuff that, again, the hunt is part of the fun.
Well, I try, I'll think about it in different levels or different strata to think about. Here's the easy ones that you can kind of just easily get. Then here's ones that, they're probably going to have to work in a team to going to get. And then here's ones that are nigh on impossible. They're not going to get these, which they then do.
Yes.
But by thinking about it in kind of different ways means that different levels of people, their engagement, there's always something else. There's always another depth them to kind of discover. But over the years, it's got more and more complicated. I started off with a computer science background and programming, so I was like, oh, I'll do the ciphers. I'll do this. They've already exhausted me now. I've got nothing left now. That's all the trickiness over now. So everything.
There's still a bunch of ciphers that haven't been solved though.
Press X to.
Well, that's why some people will play to find those. Other people will watch someone else play to find them, and it's that's what's fun. Are there any Easter eggs that have not been found?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Your task is at hand. Yeah. Can you tell us which game?
All of them.
No.
Come on.
He said no.
Well, here's the thing. So there's a whole bunch that haven't been found, and there's a bunch that they haven't got through it yet. But but when we get into the end, so I try to have a careful relationship with the community, which is close enough but not too close.
Okay.
Because if you get too close, then you're just following what they're asking for.
Yes.
But you want to be aware. You don't want to be deaf to it. So trying to be, questions that get asked and say, okay, which one? Where's the Easter eggs you haven't found? I like to be a little bit more separated, and then I'll have people on the team tell me, like, oh, they haven't found that one yet. I'm like, okay, excellent, okay.
But I'm just curious, like, are there dozens of things out there still, or what's
on the different ones? There's as little as kind of like a handful up to a couple of handfuls.
So vague. So a handful. So 5, at least 5.
I didn't say how amputated the hand was. But,
5 new zombies map.
But it's part
classified.
Of to give nondescript answers to questions.
No, look, but that's part of the fun, I guess.
Yeah.
And now, when you go into something like Black Ops 4, how the Easter eggs, how big of a conversation is it about? I said how convoluted ARG-like these things are going to be.
It's a combination, right? So we'll engage with different departments, different groups, and talk about where we're hiding things. Especially now that we're telling a new story, we've got a brand new story now in Black Ops 4. When we get into the end of the previous story, we were putting more things in ciphers, making it a lot harder because each one could give so much gold, even a small amount.
Yeah.
But when you go to a new story, then it's almost like a rewinding the mentality back to the beginning, where it's a bit more overt about the story because you want to get people vested and into what's going on, all this kind of stuff. So the mentality has changed as well.
Yeah.
Well, something like a Blood of the Dead, so forth. You can go a little bit more hardcore because there's fans who will be really wanting to know the smallest little bit. So so kind of combining it and talking about different techniques, whether it be in an animation or be a sound Easter egg. And sound, being there from the very beginning, has a very special place in my heart. The kind of sound Easter eggs or the audio ones, because that's where they first came from. Those ideas, those recordings, you know, hidden, that you press X on something that we wouldn't tell you, and then some audio log would play. Going into the new story, I like the idea that we kind of roll back to that mentality again.
Yeah, no, it's amazing what you guys have built over the years. Black Ops 4, let's talk a bit about that, because the big reveal on May 17th, you definitely revealed a lot.
Yeah, it was whatever, you know.
Yes,
right? Yes.
On Zombies.
It was whatever.
It was a massive reveal of all the modes of Black Ops 4. But tell me, you know, the team approaching this, 3-year dev cycle. When you start out, you know, on this new cycle a couple years ago on Black Ops 4 Zombies, what was the original vision? What did you guys want to accomplish this game?
I think the big thing that we were going after was starting a new story.
Yeah.
We've been telling the previous story for 10 years, and there was so much creativity in the team. And we've been blessed with the large majority of the team who are here today were there 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, when we did Chronicles, for example, most of the people who made those maps were making them again for the remaster. And that's why, you know, when Brian's talking about, you know, the joy of going back for the sound, the designers were doing that as well, kind of going back and scripting stuff as well. So the idea is building up, and you're like, okay, could we jam this into the other storyline? Sure, we could.
Yeah.
But we kind of know where we want to go with that. And so very early on, it was like, let's not keep jamming stuff into a storyline where we know how we want to finish it and where we want to bring it to.
Yeah.
Let's start this new story. But then that's all scary, because now you're starting something that the audience doesn't know, you're going to reveal for the first time. But that fear and that excitement is what drives the team. That's what made Zombies in the first place so exciting. It was this feeling of, who knows, you know? So taking all the things that the community had taught us and being able to start a new story with new mechanics and new ideas, that's what's driving us. That's what's keeping it exciting. That's what's keeping it fresh. And that's what's kind of keeping the team alive and excited.
So on like a 3-year dev cycle like this, you know, the Zombies always sort of have a similar cadence in terms of when you come up with the idea and execute it. I mean, you're obviously, you know, doing a lot here. So, you know, that is, I don't know, I guess I'm wondering about the evolution of the Zombies mode within sort of a 3-year cycle and prototyping it. Because obviously some of it, you know, is building off of what the team is doing on the main
Show
game
5.
too.
I doubt they'll show 5.
Technology and everything.
I don't even think they're going to talk about it. I mean, maybe.
Game in some ways, right?
Hopefully they talk about
like
it.
An asset sharing. So for instance, like the weapons.
I don't think
the
they'll show
multiplayer
it.
pretty much
You think they'll
dictates
show
the
it?
weapon selection
I
we're
don't
going to
know.
have for the map. And then we'll highlight a handful of them and say these are the special weapons or these are the wonder weapons or whatever that's going to be. But then because the Zombies mode has grown so much, it's turned to a point now where it has its own kind of feature list where we're talking about its own
game.
things. Yeah, so it's before it was just like, hey, what bits do you have left over? Can we borrow some? And now it's kind of like, we want this. You know, there you go. So
And I think even probably, you know, animation-wise, I mean, you get, you know, we saw from the reveal, I mean, massive cutscene, new content, and I mean, this is for
New
the team, I'm
characters.
sure, is a huge part of what you
Freaking
guys are
close my
doing.
window,
Absolutely,
dude.
absolutely. As a matter of fact, we were reviewing something before we came over here.
Tell us more.
what are
they talking about?
Yeah, but no, but like this new crew, these new 4 are very interesting characters, and we're very excited to explore them and grow them and help them come to life and reveal more about them over time. But to me, that's very exciting, you know, because we want to explore new stories, we want to explore new ways to tell stories or what not to tell, and.
Why'd you point at me when you said that?
Well, because we like to go, in the animation department, we like to go crazy. And Jason has to come in and tell us, like, whoa, hold on.
I killed the fun, that's what he's saying.
No, not at all. No. The collaboration is great, but, you know,
My
us
boy
as
trying to get
animators
fired
want
out
to
here.
See how far we can take that. And then working with Jason and other departments, we start to wrangle that in.
I have race cars outside my house all the time.
We partner
So
up very
annoying.
early on. And how do these scenes and the audio work together? I mean, it's a real collaborative effort, and through that, it makes it a lot of fun. And we're all working together and getting the different departments and disciplines talking about things. Like there's things that the audio guys have brought up that I thought, wow, that's a really great idea, and we would incorporate into our scenes and just keep growing the ideas together. It's really a lot of fun.
Yeah, like the music videos, right? That was something, you know, the hidden track in the beginning. When we got a little bit later on, we were like, okay, what can we do with this? Let's do music videos now. Let's like tell stories now.
Exactly right.
With the music.
The one was the first music video too, because it was based on that, right?
Right. So that idea of like, okay, let's take the lyrics, and then the imagery that we marry with it can then tell the community new things, right? All the way to the point where you get to, where are we going, right? Where we were like selling this kind of creepy vibe and a very different song, a very different kind of performance. So again, using the kind of different disciplines, different groups to tell stories, and that's really the kind of key to it. Right?
And like I was saying earlier, what I like about it too, it's our stories aren't just about the movies anymore. It's about how much you want to engage with the story. The more you interact with it and hearing the characters talking to each other, like what they just say, and depending on what your combo is, you get more information. And I really love developing that and working that story out.
I think what's cool about it is if you want the story, you have to go find it.
Yeah.
And if you just want to slay the undead, it's all there for you. You know.
And now, so much variety too, right? 3 adventures on launch day.
Wait a minute.
Crazy things like Voyage of Despair. I mean, it's like, I'm sure, as you said, there's stuff not on the cutting room floor. It just gets pushed off to, the DLCs or things like that. How did the campaigns that you are shipping with, tell us a bit about why you decided to push forward with those for launch?
I can't really. So when you're starting a new story off, and this kind of goes to the question that I might not have fully answered before from you, which is, in the early days, it was, okay, here's an idea, and then, okay, we got this level, let's put another idea here. And as we got further and further along, we had to plan a little bit further out, a little bit more further out. And you get to this situation now where when you're starting a new crew, for its success, you need to really kind of think it all the way down the line. But then also, for people who are driven by narrative and our kind of storytelling, it's also important not to tell it in order, but for it not to be timey-wimey for the sake of it, if you will.
Yeah.
So Voyage and 9 are 2 key points in the storyline that will be told.
Okay.
But I'm not saying necessarily where they are in that storyline.
So, but it sounds there is interconnectedness.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's the part that we also want the fans to kind of investigate. So as they're playing, when they're saying about you're not going to get the same line every single time, whoever's next to each other, that's going to allow them to start kind of connecting those threads. The timeline coming out in Chronicles was appropriate because everyone had been through that stuff.
Yeah.
This one, I would put the challenge out to the community to start making the timeline before I have to.
Gotta give more though. Come on. You also announced you're doing a 4th map classified, right?
Yes.
All right, getting to the questions you guys want to hear.
Hello? Classified?
So break it down. What can you tell us?
What can I tell you?
Unclassified.
The clues in the title. Well, it's going to be based in the Pentagon.
Oh my fucking god! Oh my goodness!
This guy just gave him a shake. Was that what your guess?
Oh my goodness!
Okay, there's a bet. What was the bet?
Oh
which crew
goodness!
Oh. Which one? Okay, let me tell you this one.
Okay.
So it's the original crew.
Wow.
So it's the
What?
the Ultimus gang.
What?
Yeah, so Black Ops 4 is going to have our Primus crew in there, and then also our Ultimus crew and our new gang as well.
Wow.
So
all right, Jason.
And that's going to set up some of the craziness that we saw in 5. Why did that happen? How did they get there? All that kind of good stuff. And it's
what are you telling me, my boy?
Approaching it in a very unique way artistically.
What?
But it also kind of folds into all those kind of mechanisms that we talked about on the reveal. So the kind of custom mutations and so forth. All that stuff then works as well. So every map that we're doing all works with the challenger system and so forth. So not only is it a kind of brand new take on that part of the storyline, and obviously a joy to go back and update it and modernize it, but it's a new part in the story also.
I mean, it's just it's insane how
But you
much
said
stuff
5
has
with
to
the Ultimus
interconnect
crew.
all these sort of plan together. I mean, when and this is being developed alongside the 3 that'll come out at launch.
Yeah, the whole team is busying away right now. Straight after this, I've got to take these guys home because they've got to go back to work.
Yeah, exactly.
After this project.
No, and I mean, even for you guys, you've got the entire game to sort of think about, and I mean, you say focus primarily, I guess, on zombie stuff, but for you guys, I mean, now. I mean, it feels like zombies is a big part of what the audio
I can't believe it.
teams are working on every year, right? I mean, how do you, because at least and now MP obviously is big, and then Blackout and everything. But it's Zombies is so different. Does it take sort of a disproportionate amount of resources because it's so new?
That's a good question. I don't think so. The way we have our, like in the animation side, we have our teams broken up in the different subgroups. We have cinematics, AI, and player animations. So as we start to develop and design these games, we start putting the resources and the energy in the right places. So it never really feels disproportionate at all. It's just part of the game development cycle.
I've got to call out for our amazing production department that makes all this stuff work. They're the kind of unsung heroes of all this because we have obviously our talent and our kind of energy that we're kind of going into different disciplines, but they're sitting in the background making sure all these pieces fit together. So.
Yeah, let me text on that question. What do you guys think?
And audio, I mean, you're doing different sort of soundscapes.
Yeah, I mean, I got to keep people from begging me to work on Zombies. That's the easy one.
All right.
Yeah, everybody loves working on it. It's just it's so much fun and it's so different. If you need to shift gears or you're not feeling creatively inspired on some other part of the game, hey, there's a Zombies task for you right here.
Well, that's a good point because I imagine even for the team, working on the same style of game for so many years, it's like, to have this fresh creative palette with Zombies every year, I think it feels like a new game. I mean, when you see those trailers for what you guys are doing this year for the 3 campaigns, it's kind of like...
It's fresh every map.
Exactly.
It's every map.
Every new map that comes out, we're like, what are we doing now? All right.
What's it going to be? And in many ways, you can do whatever you want because I feel like now, time period setting, it's like there is... Is there anything that you guys have proposed that you're like, no, this is too crazy? Like it just doesn't work?
Nope. It's I mean that's what makes it fun, right?
Yeah.
And there's very few times in a person's career where you have that opportunity.
What the fuck is Ultimus doing on 5? I'm
our
so
job is
confused.
to make the project work and to the best of our ability. When you have a project that's so open-ended and supported by the fans so lovingly, it gives us the freedom to be able to try new things, go to new places, and that keeps us alive and fresh with the kind of creativity. And hopefully, they feel that, the community feels it. I've said it before, which is hopefully when you're playing Zombies, you can feel every discipline's love for the mode itself coming through. I'm a bit hippie in that way.
Where are we going,
like
boys?
if people are loving what they're doing, then you feel
Where are we going, boys?
receiving it. So that's what we endeavor to do on Zombies all the time.
Well, speaking of the community, I know we've got some. I think we've got a video question from a Facebook fan over at the E3 Hall that wanted to ask you something about that. So we want to take a look now at the video question from a fan on Facebook.
So my question is basically, will any of the previous Zombies lore tie in to the new game? Any of the story continuation or even references to the existing lore, since it was such a great story?
All right, I'm gone, boys.
Yes, that'll be tied into Blood of the Dead.
Okay.
So Blood of the Dead carries on that story. That was easy. I got away with that one.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a little easy. That's a little easy, boys.
Like asking you to confirm X, Y.
That's a little easy.
Yeah, Blood is. I won't say anything more on where that fits in, but it's. Yes, it is carrying on that story. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, I think we have another one. Second question. I'm a fan over at the.
All right, make it a hard question, boys, please.
Hi, I was wondering if you ever see yourself introducing Zombies into the Battle Royale mode as something that might distinguish you from other games that are coming out with Battle Royale modes.
All right, get some Blackout scoop. Here we go. Don't tell a lot.
Fair.
I would. I'm going to use my catch-all answer, which is never say never.
Yes. I mean, when they revealed Black, I mean, he was sort of saying pretty much everything in the world of Black Ops somehow will factor into.
Well, yeah,
this
I mean, the
somehow,
kind
right?
of, obviously our characters, and we showed that on our reveal.
Yeah.
Is Nightbot dead?
May
I don't know if I have Nightbot enabled.
There's already kind of a certain level of it.
For
but,
YouTube.
Who knows how that goes, right?
How involved are you in sort of? I mean, Blackout. Like, obviously, you got a lot to do, but that's something that
we're actually staying focused all on our dedicated zombie side. We have dedicated teams for each one of these things.
Yeah.
So. The maps we're doing for launch, which obviously there's 4 maps there, plus a DLC season coming down the road. We got more than enough to focus on in that.
There's a lot there. Now I'm sure everyone's wondering when we're going to get more on this. It was cool, in May to get details on these campaigns earlier than ever before. Traditionally, I think you guys have held for kind of Comic-Con or summertime to sort of start to share what Zombies are later.
Yeah, forget what you know.
What?
There's my marketing line.
Okay. Any teases you can sort of tell us about, when we'll hear more or the next sort of phase of information on zombies?
So the next time we'll be talking, we'll be at Comic-Con.
Okay.
So we're going to go to Comic-Con, be chatting there. But because we knew we were going to come along today and have the chat with you, there's a couple extra little things that I thought I'd talk about.
You guys into that? Pays to stick around until the end of the panel.
Shut up. So we talked about maps, and we mentioned that, and obviously introduced the new storyline. And we talked about, I think,
what is a Pundo?
We talked about that a little bit.
What is it?
I thought I'd mention a couple of new mechanics or twists on mechanics that might find interesting. Okay. So for the first time, we're going to give a choice for your starting weapon. So you get to select your starting weapon before you start the map. You'll also be able to select your own special equipment as well to kind of go into the map before you start.
Okay.
For everything. Wow. And then you'll also be able to select your special weapon, which you'll be able to upgrade and move through as you're kind of playing the game. And then as a final point,
yes,
you'll also be able to choose your what we're calling perk vapors, of which there'll be over 10 different kind of perk vapors, and you'll be able to assign them into the world. So rather than having your kind of perk machine that's just kind of static and staying there, now players will be able to kind of choose what combination of things and how to set it up into the map to change the way the map is played and what abilities and skills they can then have.
We're gonna fucking vape in zombies. We're vape
That's
bros.
exclusive for you there.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I like those. That's amazing. I mean, it feels like that's gonna obviously,
we're gonna vape, boys.
So much more customization. I mean, your loadout effectively when you're kind of.
And that's the kind of thing which is when we're talking about the most deepest customizable game we created. That's part of it, right? Taking all the things which are kind of static or predictable, and then giving the players the choice. So not only the choice for me as an individual, but if we're playing together, what's the combination of things that we're taking? And that's part of the strategy you're taking to defeat a map or get an advantage on a map as well.
Wow. All right, you guys into that?
Yeah.
All right, well, we will see more, it sounds like, at Comic-Con about that. And got to say, an incredible reveal for Black Ops 4. I know how hard everyone at Treyarch worked to, put all that content together.
Vape Niche.
And, we don't even know that much about Blackout yet. I saw Vaughn and Bunting the other day on the YouTube show, and they're like, no more hints. But I think they talked about ballistics of weapons and how, but that was about all we got. So it's amazing to see what you guys are putting together, and we can't wait to see more and play it this October. Give it up to the guys from Treyarch.
Thank you.
Black Ops 4. Awesome. Thanks, guys. We'll be right back. Check.
So, are they done?
Good stuff.
Okay, they're done.
Thank you. Adam, thanks, man. Brian,
pretty...
I think we need to look differently about the way women are represented in games, but I think also we're seeing some real progress being made.
Thank you.
10 years ago, I can't imagine seeing...
I'm not trying to be a dick. I swear. I just want to talk about zombies. Fuck. Anyways.
If we did, they were rare, and now,
we're going to be vaping. We're Vape Niche. I think the big thing out of that for me was that Ultimus is going to be on 5. Like, that's kind of fucked.
We are making progress. It's not
FYI, no.
there yet. There's still a way to go, but people are really talking about this stuff.
I just wanted to lower it down. I just wanted to talk.
For me, that's hugely important.
That's why I was like scared when it came on. I was like, oh shit. But it's okay. Yeah, we have Ultimus, Victus. Wait, we don't have Victus. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know if we have Victus or not, but Ultimus, Primus, and then the new crew, which doesn't really have a name yet, but all in Black Ops 4. And if there is Victus, then that's messed. That's messed, dude. Holy schmoly. We have to choose our starting weapons, boys. Choose our specialist weapons. I think that's a really good idea, because like think about Chronicles. You only have that freaking stupid Annihilator on Chronicles. It makes you so mad when you get the Annihilator out of the box. It doesn't make any sense. But now we get to choose what we want, which is good. Can't disrespect women. No, I don't. It wasn't my fault that thing came on exactly when I wanted to talk. There was no way. Let me see what else I'm forgetting because I want to recap here. Over 10 different perk vapors, which maybe is that gonna be like Gobblegums? Maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. But you get to choose your starting weapon too. I hope that's the thing. I hope it's not like some weird shit, because World War II had like snipers as starting weapons and like shotguns as starting weapons. Didn't make any freaking sense, boy. You have to have a pistol in the beginning. If you have a shotgun in the beginning, it doesn't make any sense. You don't get the same amount of points you would with the pistol. It doesn't make any sense. No, women are not new memes. Stop. No. But yeah, I would expect a trailer at Comic-Con, boys. Let's see what Comic-Con is. Comic-Con. What's like the big one? San Diego?
Please welcome Amy Hennig.
Amy Hennig.
That's a good first one. Yeah, Temple of Doom.
I think it's San Diego. I want to say it's San Diego.
I've had the privilege.
I can't even like.
Alongside and getting to know the folks at Lucasfilm and ILMX Lab.
July 19th. So we got a little bit ahead. We got a little bit of time. I lied. About a month and a bit. A month and a week or so until we can get. I would suspect the trailer then. A trailer for 5, and then probably that special edition. That seems like the most legit thing they could have there. And then maybe talk about it more. TVH a little scared about all these new mechanics. On the other hand, it's Treyarch, so I have faith. I'm the same way. I'm the same way. If you're gonna add some new shit, I think it's gonna be fun. Pretty good stream though, nonetheless. Not gonna lie. I'm gonna end off there though because God knows if I keep streaming, I'm gonna have something copyrighted, and then YouTube is gonna take down my whole freaking channel. So, but yeah, I just wanted to stream that whole thing right there. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Leave a like if you haven't already. If you're new, subscribe. I always forget to say these things, but I mean it. Wait, where's my last one? Holy shit. There it is. I'm scared that Nikolai might get out of control with the vaping shit. Nah, I don't know. Stream on Twitch. That might be a possibility later. So if you do follow me on Twitch, you can go check that out. That's a possibility later though. We'll have to see. Anyways, boys, thanks for coming out. I'll see you with the Ultimus crew on 5. Okay. Later, boys.